nga tufunikira omwaka guno. City Sites Limited mukusobozesa okutuuka ku kirooto kyo ekwanjulira omuzigo ntayi plus. Mu muzigo ntayi plus buli kakadde k'oseving okufuna ettaka kakuwa amagoba ga mitwalo 24 gye mitwalo 2 buli mwezi. Ate gwe akyasigalidde mu nteekateeka yaffe ey'okusiga ensimbi emanyiddwa nga FBI kakuume nga kayonjo, omukisa gukyaliwo anti buli mugabo gw'obukadde 2 gukuwa amagoba ga mitwalo 4 mu myezi 6 n'omukisa ogw'okwewangulira ekyapa ky'ettaka. Ngenda ku mwezi 3 Desemba wetugenda okukuba akalulu munnamukisa yewangulira ekyapa ky'ettaka. Ate gwe ayagala okumalako omwaka ne poloti, City Sites Limited ekusaliddeko ku bukadde 2.5 zokka. Jangu weefunire poloti.
Okumanya ebisingawo kuba ku noti 7 noti 4 6 oba noti 7 9 9 ne noti 7 4 oba jangu emukono ku ofisi zaffe okulirana Stanbic Bank ewandegeya KM Plaza opposite ne Shell so nga tene mu Kampala wakati Kafumbe Mukasa Road.
Supportive and then definitive management. So we supportive, we always do for them the physiotherapy in here. We attend to them for those ones who had injuries that really we try to correct. Then and also talking to counseling them as well. Then those ones who were really in a bad situation, we give them antibiotics, IVs, treatment, all both treatment are given in any hospital. We have been giving to them. They have received it all, including even some of them when came when they are gravid. Actually, they are gravid. They are expectant mothers. And we also attending to them. They have done antenatal. We do all the care that is needed. We are providing services. They are providing to them as well. Yeah.
The process of de-recuralization. De-recuralization. That's not for him. That's not for him.
Yeah. Okay. It's not for him. That's the medical part.
Yeah, the medical part.
That's the difference.
The rehabilitation part of it. Yeah. Okay. When the rehabilitation. Yeah. So that one is trying to make them come back to the normal situation than the other one of the bush. So after me treating the medical part and I've seen they're stable, I notify the responsible persons, then they take them to another center, then they initiate the rehabilitation for some good months, and then they can unite them with their families for those who know. But I've got some children also here who have no parents. Parents died. So what I do, I attach those children to them because they know each other. You find this one knows this is the daughter of so and so but died. This one is a son of my sister died. So to have that environment for the child to be around. Actually, most of them have improved because of these mothers. These adults, very few have been injured, but the children. So we attach the child. You may think that's a child, but not the child, not the true child. Yeah. So there are very few here who have the true children to them. Yeah. So rehabilitation is going to take place on the other side. They take up that and they talk to them. Then each one can go wherever it is. But the children will remain in those centers until maybe somebody from, we rescue more and they bring them. That's when now they can now maybe say that, the mother of this one needs to come from here. Then they can unite the child what? They can unite the child out to the families. And reach.
As of now, how many children could you be having in this medical camp and the adults?
The adults I have 9 and the children are 12. Yeah.
Are they all female adults?
Adults, yes. All the 9 adults are female, all female. Then among the 12 children, 2 are male and the rest are females also. Yeah. Yeah, I'm transferred them already to the Electoral Center there. And now, currently, I have 17 left here who are Ugandans, and I have 5 who are Congolese still, who were previously not okay, but now they have improved also. They have now improved. Yeah, I also have one of the adults, female, is a Tanzanian with a young baby boy who is 4 months old now. Came when he was 2 months, now 4 months old. Yeah. Mpuliriza Daniel Okero, omukulu wa medical mu Mountain Division ne in charge wa Operation Shujaa medical. Miezi 2 mabega twa receiving Abductees aba ADF kuba byakato abadenga ana munamba abaana abangi abafunyemu ebizibu byamasasi na bombs ebakutemu abakulu si bonna ne batono nnyo abafunemu ebizibu ebyo naye kati sawa zino ba improve bafunye bujanjabi bonna naye kati ba improve bali stable batambula tebakyakozesako emiti kati bali bulungi nnyo bali stable ya abataano bali kati ba Congo ya
abantu bano mubajjanjaba ki era mubajjanjaba muki
tubajjanjanga ga bulijjo nga omulwadde yonna ng'ajja mu ddwaliro nga waffe bamukubye nga tubajjanja tubatwala nga muntu waffe. We don't have any discrimination. Kakati tubawa all the care, supportive, surgical, bonna tubajjanjaba tubawa byonna byabwerere bulungi n'emmere yonna tubawa. Ne challenge yabadde nnene nnyo okutandika yabadde nga tabakkiriza tubaweeko eddagala zonna kubanga babadde nga balina doubt balowooza tugenda batta naye kati bafunyemu confidence nasa ne bategeera kati saawa zino tuli bulungi nawo bakkiriza buli kintu kyonna. Etandika nga at least nga abaana bonna bali bulungi nga buli muntu ali bustedde ne tubawa naye kati we expect in the next weeks 2 kubawa saawa zino tugenda banding over bagende mu rehabilitation kati. Nnyo abakulu bafuna ebizibu nnyo ne this recent one abaana babadde involved nabo naye bakulu ababeeramu nnyo abali Kampala eyo batumiza nnyo.
First few commanders we highlighted, we just wanted to know that we are doing some good job by killing the commanders of the ADF. But to give the total number killed during my time, at least they are about 100. Yeah. And these are commanders and seasoned fighters. When I talk of commanders, it begins from the lowest to the highest level. Democratic Republic of Congo. Generally, I'm going to give you an overview of what we are doing in Eastern DRC so that you could understand, and I will not go back up to 2021 because that will be taking us too long, but I will just summarize it. As you are aware, Operation Shujaa started in November in 2021, exactly about 3 years now. And the purpose of that operation was to ensure that we dislodged the enemy strongholds, which were on the reverse slope of Rwenzori Mountain. And these were areas of Kamyajua and Molika, where the ADF had stayed for about 20 years, from which camps they were mainly carrying out atrocities on the population, killing civilians, disrupting businesses, socio-economic activities, and people went to the IDPs, and the two leadership of the DRC and Uganda, His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Uganda and his counterpart, they, on bilateral level, agreed, and the UPDF and the forces for DRC had to come and militarily start these operations. So the operation started very well, and it was very successful. That was in phase 1. All the enemy camps were destroyed, and the enemy went on the run, taking the direction to the north, going to these areas of Sector 2, and then the other group went to the south in Moleka Valley. But the first phase of that operation was mainly airstrikes and artillery bombardments. The infantry, the boots were not on the ground. But later, when the troops entered, all the camps of the enemy were destroyed, a number of guns were recovered, and also the abductees were rescued. So when the enemy started being on the run, we kept on expanding our area of operations. That is how we moved from Sector 1, Sector 2, Sector 3, and Sector 4, where we are standing at the moment. So this brings me to the current situation. What is the situation as of now? In all those 4 sectors, right from Semiliki up to the Boga side, we don't have any rebel groups, apart from one group which recently crossed back from the northern part of Mombasa Commander Road, that is deep into Ituri province. It's a group of about 100 Abductees. And when they crossed, recently there was an attack on a trading center in a place called PK 40. This is about 40 kilometers from Mbao, but it's a bit far from our border. And that's the only group that we have. So the troops have liberated all the 4 sectors, and the enemy has run in 2 directions. One group crossed Pamando, Mombasa Road, and now they are deep into Ituri province. And then the second group moved to Lubero territory. That is the southern part of Beni city. And they are continuing moving further southwest, heading towards maybe Isopo province. So apparently, all the 4 sectors are free. This small group which has come back, we are handling them, and it's a question of time. So there is peace now in areas which have been liberated. Schools have resumed. Markets are operating. People are moving freely, especially there is traffic, and there is peace. So the enemy has been defeated, and I want to make it very clear that we're in charge of the 4 sectors, and generally that's what I want to tell you about what we are doing in Eastern Congo. However, there could be some few challenges, like one, if the enemy is not in 4 sectors, where are they? They have gone far. That calls for us again to follow them, and as we follow them, we expand the areas. We have been in Congo for about 3 years. If the enemy enters in an area where we don't have the joint forces, sometimes they kill the population, and that is bad. Killing civilians who are innocent indiscriminately. And then the other one is the road conditions. Sometimes we get that difficulty when we are moving on the bad roads. And the terrain generally, Congo is full of forest and swamps and rivers. But for the infantry, it's not a big deal. We move, although sometimes we go a bit slow. And then at the border here, the trade is moving on well. The roads which was under rehabilitation, it's going to resume, but that was at strategic level, so that we have increased movements of goods from the border, especially from Uganda, to the other side. So generally, this is what I think I could tell you about what we are doing in Eastern DRC. Thank you. Was captured. They took it to Kampala, and I think it's in court. So I don't know his influence now with the people he left behind. I don't know. Maybe if there is any intelligence to that effect, then Kampala is a better placed to give that information. But on ideology, it's about the mindset. Because when Mukulu was captured, as it ended the war, you have seen some of the terrorist groups, when their leaders are killed, they get more radical leaders even. So I don't think this is happening, especially his communication while he's in prison with the ADF, I don't know. And a time frame, an end state. For now, we have destroyed all their bases. When we were giving the presentation, you saw the military objectives. All the bases have been destroyed. But they're on the run. And until when are they going to be on the run? As long as they're being followed. And as they're being followed, they're being killed, the number reduces. So I can't commit myself and say by 2026, the ADF will be history, and therefore all the troops must come back to Uganda, especially for the UPDF. The most important thing is to ensure that the rebels are destroyed, degraded, to the extent that they don't have any capacity to end the war again. And your question reminds me of what LR exactly did. They lost Eastern Army. We attacked them in northern Uganda. They crossed to South Sudan. They went to DRC. They crossed to Central African Republic, and today they're in Sudan. So, is it a threat to Uganda? It's no longer a threat to Uganda. So maybe if they moved very far, then they will not again have time to come back. But it's not about protecting our people only, because you also look at the regional security. And you know, UPDF has been playing a big role in this regional security. That's why we're in Somalia. We were in South Sudan the other time. And today we're in the DRC. So we really want this war to end, even in the DRC, because when the neighbors are suffering, then it's not yet over until when it's over.
And back in our country, we always get
To sensitize the people and inform them if there is a danger. For example, these are terrorists, and you know, they like attacking soft targets, killing innocent civilians. So when there is that intelligence, I think it's important to inform the population. My message to Ugandans is that the ADF was a big threat when they were on Rwenzori mountain. The government defeated them. They left the entire mountain, went behind the mountain. The operation was launched 3 years ago. Now they have left all those places. But still, some of them are Ugandans. In fact, the majority of them are Ugandans, and they have families in Uganda. So there could be that element of infiltrations, and there could be that element of recruitment. So that means if there is any attempt to recruit a Ugandan, and it's not very clear, then I think the leaders at all levels should take it up. But it's very important that issues of security is not only left for security people. People should be conscious. They should be, you know, on alert. If they are told, wait, don't go there, they have to listen. But on the ADF is a terrorist group, and there is asymmetric war. They have ever attacked Uganda, you remember in the previous attacks. Therefore, the leaders, especially along the border of the DRC and Uganda, we always engage them. They are aware, we meet them, and if there is any threat, they also tell us, and we share information with them. So it is very important that we keep our people informed. Two countries at a bilateral agreement, and we operate there on bilateral arrangement. Depends on how they will give their guidance to the UPDF leadership. But me as the commander on the ground, I will be looking for the ADF, especially in areas that fall under my jurisdiction. But if the enemy continues going deeper into the DRC, there is that review that we make from time to time with our leadership. I will be guided.
So during these operations, I understand you've dealt
into the DRC to fight the Allied Democratic Forces, and it's a joint operations with our Congolese military. We have destroyed all their bases, and in these areas where we are operating, I have never come across any group under M23. And there could be other armed groups, like the famous Mai you have heard about, but our mission is clear. We did not go there to fight any rebel groups, especially the ones operating in areas where we are at the moment. Unfortunately, we have not even come across them.
Okay, the last one from me. What is the biggest achievement?
Strongholds have been destroyed. They don't have a permanent home. The other time they could plan, they even were collecting taxes, that even given land to some people. Now they're on the run. Most of the commanders have been killed, including the ones who are very influential in the command of the ADF. And we have captured quite a number of guns, and this has weakened their capacity to fight. There is peace now. People have gone back to their respective homes, especially the ones who were displaced, and schools have opened, and I think that's good enough. But on Charles, I've already highlighted, and I don't need again to repeat myself. Yes, fight is very dangerous. Dangerous how? Do they attack military installations, or they go and attack the innocent population? See what has been happening in other attacks, like even in Kampala, attacking people who are watching football. They go to a bar and destroy lives. So while the enemy has been destroyed, look at their will. Are they ready now to give up and say, we are defeated, let's go and settle somewhere and forget about the war, when some of them are still armed? What about if one rebel only attacks a bus, attacks a camp? they will kill people, they will burn houses. So as long as they are still alive, they remain a threat, especially to the innocent population. And when I talk of the region, I look at the foreign fighters. Okay? And then on their expansion, in the military, we have the limit of expansion.